Thanks for having me on the show.
Great to be with you. You have been one of the leaders in trying to bring legislation that would stop sanctuary cities.
Yes.
And I don't understand how it even is controversial to have legislators would say that you can't carve out against federal law and say our city is not going to obey the law. What if a local governor or mayor decided that they were going to have a sanctuary state or a sanctuary city for life, and they just decided there will be no abortions here because I say so?
Sure.
What's different about that?
Well, the frustrating thing about this is we have individuals who have committed crimes and been released, in some cases, 14 different times. And then they go on to murder someone. I mean, what do you tell that family member that this murder has been protected in this sanctuary city? You know, the bill I passed in Tennessee, and in Tennessee now, this is law. If a city tries to become a sanctuary city, we pull their economic development money. So they lose the dollars.
Standard.
And it is law. So.
As it should be.
Yes, sir.
Would your legislation in Congress, would it do the same thing at the federal level?
Yes, sir. Very similar, yes.
Why is it hard even to get that done? I would think that people of Congress would recognize they have an obligation to their citizens to protect them above protecting people who are trying to escape and skirt the law.
It's the same reason that they want an open border. I mean, they want everyone to come. And I think it empowers them at the ballot box. I believe that's why they want to do it.
Right now, there is so much going on in D.C., impeachment talk in the House of Representatives. It appears, at least on surface, that the Republicans are being pretty much shut out of the entire process.
Yes, sir.
When that happens, how can this be legitimate?
Oh, it isn't legitimate. She has commandeered the whole House of Representatives and basically leveraged it against the executive branch without the people of Tennessee having any say in this. And that's unconscionable. It's undemocratic. It's wrong. And we're standing up to her as much as we possibly can.
Do you see a resolution? How will this end up?
So you're asking me to look into that crystal ball?
Absolutely. I want you to be
of a congressman.
You've been a doctor, a congressman, you've been in the military. Now be a prophet.
So my guess is they find a reason. We have an election, or we have a vote, and there's an impeachment.
And you think some of those Democrats in these very, let's say, tenuous House districts where they barely got elected, and they're in districts where the president carried, will go ahead and vote with her?
The vote won't happen until she knows she has the votes. All of this is just on her edict. Normally, in all the cases before, the House voted to initiate the process, because basically you're saying the legislative branch is going to take down the executive branch. And interestingly enough, you know, they've gone after the president. Now they're attacking our vice president. Well, if they get both of those out, Nancy Pelosi's president.
I mean, I know that's constitutionally how it happens. Do you honestly think, I mean, are they plotting something that ridiculous?
I think it's all about 2020 for them. Yeah. Well, first off, it's about revenge for 2016. I mean, they still have not gotten over the fact that Donald Trump was elected president of the United States.
These are people who are not moving on, and they have spent every day that this president has been in office trying to figure out how to overturn an election. My perspective is, and I really want you to address this.
Yes, sir.
That's a dangerous thing. If we start saying, I don't like how it turned out, rather than wait to the next one, I'm just going to redo the one we just had. That's a scary thing to do to this republic of ours.
Honestly, it's tyranny, right? I mean, it's tyranny. It's saying that the voice of the people doesn't matter. What matters is what we want. But if you look at the legislation that the Democrats have brought forward, that's exactly what they're saying. House Resolution 1 takes California's fraudulent election system and forces it on everyone else. H.R. 5 does away with religious freedoms. I mean, the socialist agenda of the Green New Deal is all about concentrating power into the hands of fewer and fewer people, and we can ask the folks in Venezuela what happens when that happens.
Before we get away, I want you to address health care, something obviously you're well familiar with. A lot of the presidential candidates on the other side have said Medicare for all. We have one payer. It's going to be the government. Does that excite you or scare you?
It scares me to death, right? Because when people are competing, quality is better and price is better. But in the systems we have today, there's not competition. Nobody who, particularly who gets Medicaid assistance from the government, is shopping for price. And until there's an incentive for people to shop for price, we can't fix health care in America.
Well, let's hope that you and others like you in the Congress can hold the line. We're always thrilled to have you here.
Thank you, Governor.
I know you're close by, and I hope we see you often here, Congressman. I truly do.
It's good to be here. Thanks.
My thanks to Representative Mark Green for being with us again. Visit his official website at markgreen.house.gov. Also, follow him on Facebook. That's at Rep. Mark Green TN for Tennessee, for those of you that didn't know your states. And on Twitter, at Rep. Mark Green.